I had many start-stops when it came to journaling, but for whatever reason, in the fall of 2009, I committed to make journaling a regular part of my life, only to find out 2 months later that I was being stolen from. The intentionality that I had every single day of looking for the good and finding the good and utilizing my journal on a daily basis is what got me through it. And it's really, Amanda, about being intentional about finding the good. Because a lot of times when I wake up, I can have some cobwebs in my mind. Do I wake up in a wonderful, glorious mood every single day? No. Do I tell myself it's going to be a great day? Absolutely. And if I'm in a good mood, I could now plan better. If I'm focused on the positive instead of dwelling in the negative, today's plan will be so much more effective, will be so much more powerful. My actions that I'm setting up to do today will be so much better. Hello, I'd like to welcome you all to the Wisdom of Wrench podcast. My name is Kevin Comerford, and I am the host of the podcast. And I'm joined in studio by our co-host, Amanda Meyer. Hello, Amanda.
Hello, everybody.
We are in the middle of a 3-part series around the power of journaling and how this one tool saved my life, saved my finances, saved my relationships, and saved me from me. In the first episode, we talked about the importance of finding the right journal and what I called the setup, like finding one that's leather bound and finding one that you're comfortable with and what it looks like and the page numbers. And also in the first episode, we talked about why. Why is it that I chose to journal the way that I journal? And if you missed that episode, I would encourage you to go back and listen to it, because I talk about a profound incident that happened in my life where I had a major embezzlement to the tune of $1.3 million. And I shared that I had many start-stops when it came to journaling, but for whatever reason, in the fall of 2009, I committed to make journaling a regular part of my life, only to find out 2 months later that I was being stolen from. And I am convinced that God was preparing me through this habit of journaling for what was coming, meaning the way that I was feeling and the challenges that I went through as I uncovered this embezzlement and the court case that I had to go through, the intentionality that I had every single day of looking for the good and finding the good and utilizing my journal on a daily basis is what got me through it. It's truly, Amanda, what saved me.
Yeah. And the daily practice is what we're talking about today, that daily commitment.
The daily journaling is exactly right, is what we're going to talk about today. Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a parrot in here? Did I just repeat what you just said? Why do I do that?
Well, so I will say, so we're going to talk about, there's a lot of benefits of the exercise that we're going to go through on talking about daily wins and the planning for today.
Yeah.
I really quickly want to recap. We also talked about the importance, why it's important to write things down, helps with retention, creates clarity. When you write your thoughts down, it creates a lot more clarity than when you let them bounce around in your head. Helps you organize your thoughts, and it helps create gratitude. So
love it.
The exercise we're going to talk about, very healthy, even if you don't write it down, but highly encouraged. You'll get so many more benefits by writing it down, by doing this journal process. So take it away, Kev.
Amen. Okay, so the daily habit, the how to use your journal on a daily basis, I'm just going to start out in the morning, because I wake up in the morning and the first thing that I do is I find a very comfortable place to sit. I sit in the same spot every single morning. I get my coffee, I have my cup, and I take my hydrogen water. I get everything that I need to feel comfortable situated around me, whether it's my journal, my pen, my glasses, all the things that I know I'm going to need to spend the next 90 to 120 minutes preparing for the day. So now I just want to stop right there.
Yeah, let's stop right there. So 90 minutes
Minimum.
So I just a asterisk for everybody out there. So again, Kevin's been doing this 16 years. When you first start doing it, don't feel like you have to do it for 90 minutes. That's a long time.
Yeah.
I know that when I go through this exercise, it probably only takes me maybe 20 minutes, 10 to 20 minutes, depending on what I'm doing it. And I'm not a consistent journaler, but I highly encourage you to get started. So Kevin's going to talk about, again, the masterclass version of this.
Yes.
That takes 90 to 2 hours.
Yes.
Every morning. And it's very detailed. And again, Kevin is the pro at this. So Kevin, go ahead.
Thank you, Amanda. You bring up a great point. Am I journaling for 90 minutes? No. I'm probably journaling for 20 to 30.
Okay.
But I want to clarify that my morning process is I give myself 90 minutes to kind of get ready for the day mentally.
Okay.
Whether that's I'm going to read a little bit, I'm going to journal a little bit, I'm going to think about some different things that I need to work on, and I'm going to have my coffee and just get myself mentally ready. I love 2 hours. So again, whatever time that you get up, I know it's a lot to ask for that 90-minute block, but I have found that it is so beneficial. And I get up, and I know that for the last 16 years, I've been getting up at 5 a.m. So I'm using that time, and let's specifically get into what I do when it comes to journaling. You're going to ask me something.
I was just going to say, I know, so you are a huge advocate of doing it first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
If it interests anyone, I believe Dan Sullivan advocates for doing it at night right before you go to bed.
Yeah.
So if you feel like the ask of getting up very early to do journaling in the morning is too much, you may want to start by doing it in the evening.
Yeah.
Give everybody options.
Yeah, and what you're saying is so good, or so good, Amanda, that what I'm sharing is what I do.
Yeah.
Please pick up anything you want, leave anything you want. If you get a couple of great ideas from this, great, terrific. I had to make it my own.
Yeah.
I had to make journaling my own, just like I know you will. And Amanda said, like, you can journal at night and reflect on the day that just occurred, if that's when you want to do it. Or like me, I do it in the morning, reflecting on the previous day.
Yeah.
So you're so spot on with that.
All right. I'll stop interrupting you. You go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay. So I get up, and what I'm really doing, the first thing I'm doing is I'm finding my journal, and I'm writing up at the top of it, what are my wins or my gratitudes from the previous day? And what I'm looking to do here is I'm looking at whether it be personal or business achievements, 3 to 5 of them from the previous day. What were those things that happened in my life that were profound, were impactful, that created some type of emotion inside of me, good feeling. Maybe there was learning, because wins can also be, what was the learning I took from whatever happened? And it's really, Amanda, about being intentional about finding the good. Because a lot of times when I wake up, I can have some cobwebs in my mind. I can have some cobwebs. I will wake up at times and I call it, I need a checkup from the neck up. I can be a little bit spicy.
Okay. Got some
right?
stinking thinking.
Do I wake up in a wonderful, glorious mood every single day? No. Do I tell myself it's going to be a great day? Absolutely. Did I always do that? No. But it starts with being intentional about, hey, the words I'm using, saying that it's going to be a great day. We talked about this on a previous podcast. You talked about it specifically, but then getting to that very, very comfortable spot and writing out those interactions. Maybe it's the what things that I'm thankful for that happened yesterday, so that I win the battle in my mind. Because I'm a believer that I need to win the battle every single day in my mind. No matter how great yesterday was, I wake up today and I've got to do it. It clears those cobwebs. And when I go through that process of writing, which I'll just share a couple of ones that I wrote from yesterday. A personal one would be I went and played tennis with Bijal and Jeff, Antonio, and Nishant. We played a great fun game called 9-ball. So nice to run for 90 minutes. Felt great to be out on the court. Bijal and I played together, and at the end, we played against Jeff and Antonio, and first to 5, and we won 5-2. It felt great to be back and bring the energy. So what I'm doing by writing that win is I'm reliving that event that took place yesterday. It's like I'm living it right now. My endorphin, or the things in my mind are firing as if I'm at the event again, as I bring forward those emotions. And so I get to live the event, the experience twice.
Great way to start your day too.
Yeah. And so that would be a personal one. I had a great dinner celebration for team members that worked at both Comerfords and Service Champions. The evening was wonderful. We were in the room up at Ruby. We were celebrating my parents. So it was just a great dinner, and I go in a lot of detail about some of the things that were shared, some of the things that were said. This is literally just yesterday. And so these are just 2 examples of wins that I had yesterday.
And so this is what you wrote this morning?
Yeah, this is what I wrote this morning.
All right.
Yeah, and again, it what it does is it puts me in this state of feeling good. I'm in a state of creativity because I've been writing now, right? And I also can write things like, what did I accomplish? Maybe one of the things I wrote here yesterday is I created a lot of the setup and the why behind my journaling podcast, where it all started for me. So I created that yesterday morning. So I wrote that this morning. I know that can be kind of confusing, but that was kind of a work-related thing that I did looking back. And so now my mind is creative and ready to do the next step, which is to set my goals and set my intentions for today. Now, having gone through the process of looking back and reflecting and focusing on the good, now I'm ready to set my goals and set my intentions for today. And I'm in such a better place, Amanda, to set my intentions when I am in this great mood, inspired by looking back at the good from yesterday.
In that creative flow. Okay.
Yes.
So really quickly, I'm going to pause you there.
Yep.
So for those of you who are listening via podcast, highly encourage, this is more of a visual episode. So Kevin, I'm going to have you show the camera. This is yesterday's wins, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If you can switch over to Spotify, YouTube for this episode, I highly recommend it. So this is your journal. This is two pages.
Yes.
And let's see here. We've got your wins, gratitudes, and then down here in the corner, wins for today that you've got planned out.
Yes. So
okay.
What you've got here is your wins, my wins from yesterday, and then my wins for today.
Your
so wins from
wins.
And wins for.
Okay.
Yeah. So I first reflect and look back on what was great yesterday. Now I write, what are my wins for today?
Okay, so that's 2 pages. That's a lot. Is it normally that much?
No. It's I normally keep it to 1 page.
Okay.
And I'll show you an example of one. Just
Yesterday was a big day, y'all.
Yeah.
That's what that says.
Well, here's 2. Here's wins from Friday, 1 page.
Okay.
Wins from Saturday, 1 page. And then somewhere I've got wins from Sunday. You got my weekly plan there. Wins from Sunday.
Okay.
Wins from Sunday. So
So about 1 page, you've got 3 to 5 wins.
Yeah, and I
planned
really
wins. Okay.
I like to refer to myself as the 1 page guy. I like everything to be on 1 page.
I refer to you as the 1 page guy.
Keep it to 1 page. Keep it simple. Yesterday was a little bit much more. Yesterday was a little bit more because of the emotions and how powerful it was being with my parents at this event that we celebrated them.
Yeah, so that's interesting because I know when I go through the process of journaling my wins from yesterday, I'm writing maybe like 2 sentences for each win. It's kind of here's what happened and here's how I'm feeling about it, right? Like here's why I'm thankful. So it's maybe 2 sentences. But I think when you write at that volume, it allows you to gear up better for what's going to happen today. I think that probably puts you in a better creative space than the practice I'm doing.
Yeah.
Again, I'm entry level for everyone that's listening.
Yeah, but sometimes I can absolutely get my wins done as part of a task. Right? I that's why I call it wins and gratitudes. Because a lot of times I'll just write like, hey, I went golfing with Brendan. And then I'll carry that on. I'll just say, Brendan's my son. I just feel so blessed to be able to get out there on the course with him. And I'm just so thankful. And gosh, it's just great to see him and have him home from college. And so what I'm doing is I'm almost turning my wins into a gratitude process. And what that's doing, Amanda, is it's driving all of these emotions and feelings inside of me, because that's where the excitement and the energy comes to set my sail for today. Rather than just getting the task done of played tennis yesterday with Bill, it was fun. You know what I mean? I could easily write that. But if I dig a little bit and I look for those emotions, I know there's a lot more juice on the other side of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you said
Yes.
that when you
Andrew is in the house, baby.
I know.
Thank you, Andrew.
In there. Thank you. So when you remember and you write down those experiences from yesterday, it's like you get to experience them again, right? Yeah. So you get to relive that win. What if yesterday had a couple of lessons, right? I'm not going to call them a loss, but sometimes
shit hit the fan.
Yeah. So if something happens, then are you then reliving that difficult moment and then kind of feeling those same feelings again? Like, how do you navigate a lesson when you're going back and reflecting on the day that just happened?
Yeah. Like let's say yesterday, my main line for my plumbing's, my sewer line sprung a leak. Let's just say like that it leaked all over my house.
Yeah.
Or leaked all over my yard. Okay.
Or the main line going right out to the streets, falling apart.
Yes.
And your whole house is getting clogged up.
Yes.
True story, everyone. Goodness.
Yes. Yep. That happened to Andrew probably 30 days ago.
Just, like a short time ago. And it's very, very upsetting. But anyways.
But that is such a perfect example because, there's nothing wrong with writing out, hey, gosh, it was challenging and it caused grief. But remember, I'm focused on the good. I'm so thankful that, Jim's Plumbing was able to get there. I feel so blessed that I called my sister and she gave me a recommendation. Like there's so much good that comes from bad. There always is. Like I feel so thankful that these guys showed up. They work really hard and I learned so much, and it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a challenge, but I know we're going to make it through. And God, to see my kids all pull together And, you know, they weren't even really that upset that they had to go take showers next door. You know, I thought it was going to be so much worse, but that's really where I'm going with this, is being intentional and looking for the good. And what am I blessed? What am I thankful for? And how blessed am I?
Again, you just solidified that I need to get into this habit, because I've been sulking and like really upset that, because I don't have an extra $30,000 to fix my plumbing, but that's what it costs. I've been very mad at it. I've been very upset at it. But even just what you're saying right now, I'm like, well, we never have to worry about our drains being clogged again. Something that we've been dealing with for 4 years. Wow. And we've had 4 different companies come in to, quote, fix it. But this 4th one was finally the one that was like, you're actually a lot worse than everyone else has told you. And we're not going to sugarcoat it. You got to redo all this stuff. So we had to redo everything. But now my wife doesn't have to worry about the drain clogging, and you know, my kids I don't have to worry about them like taking a shower or a bath in like dirty water or whatever. Instead of doing that, I was over here like, oh gosh, now we just added more debt, right? We don't need more debt. Like, oh my gosh, I'm looking at all the negative stuff. But if I would have taken 15 seconds or less, however long it took you to just tell me that, man, I don't know, I would have been smiling a lot sooner than, you know, I am right now. So again, just another huge testimonial for me to like, dude, you really got to do this to be able to turn that situation into a positive. That is extremely powerful. So this is very cool for me. I'm loving this.
That's awesome. Thank you, Andrew, for sharing that, because I'm all about energy. I'm all about good energy, and negativity drains my energy. Pessimists drain my energy, and I have to stay away from it, and I have to protect myself from it, because my mind can absolutely 100% go there. If I let it go there, if I let my mind go towards the path of least resistance, I can go down that road. I can dwell in that 100%, Andrew. So it's just shifting it and being like, okay. And this is not about rainbows and unicorns. It's not also about, oh God, this guy Kevin thinks life is about rainbows and unicorns. No, Kevin is about looking for what good did come from this. And look at my kids and how they battled through it and how they persevered and how we as a family made it, whatever it is, whatever it was or whatever it is, there's always good that you can find if I look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Does it take more or the same energy to find the good versus the bad?
I think my natural instinct wants to go negative. So it does take a little bit of correction. I think it's easy to do, okay, to go positive, but it's easier not to do.
That makes sense.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And again, it makes sense as to why that's where my brain went to first.
Yeah.
You know, so got it. No, I'm loving this conversation right now.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So you get done writing the wins for today. Right? You're in this frame of mind, good, solid frame of mind. And now it's time to plan today. Okay. And if I'm in a good mood, I could now plan better. If I'm focused on the positive instead of dwelling in the negative, today's plan will be so much more effective, will be so much more powerful. My actions that I'm setting up to do today will be so much better. And as I mentioned, I write my wins from yesterday. Now when I'm planning for today, I write my 3 to 5 wins for today. So it's really very easy. It's now I've got this clarity. what are my top 3 to 5 wins that I want to have today that are going to have the highest impact? I live by what's called the win methodology, which is what's important now. Obviously, if I have a plumbing situation going on, a lot of my actions today might be around what's important now, right? Everything else can kind of take a back seat. I've got to prioritize stuff. I got to make sure we got plumbing and hot water for tonight, whatever it is. But my intentions are all around, okay, what are the top 3 to 5 things that are going to have the highest impact today? I look at what happened yesterday to help me set my goals for today. So I look at my wins from yesterday. I also will take a look and take a glance at my weekly goals that I set, which we're going to talk about on the next episode, because I always have set weekly goals. It's really important to set weekly goals. So before I'm setting my intentions for today, I'm going to take a quick glance back and say, okay, what did I set as my goals for the week? Let me make sure that I'm looking to gain some traction on those goals. I might even look at my goals that I had set for the quarter. Not always, more likely looking at the week. How am I making progress on them? Okay. Now, an interesting quote that it was shared with me that hangs over the welfare office in St. Louis, Missouri. A friend of mine, his name is Jim Abrams, told me that if you go into the welfare office, there's a plaque that's over the top of the counter, and it says, if you fail to plan, you ought to plan to fail. So these people that are coming in line, getting their food stamps, whatever they're getting, they're seeing that. If you fail to plan, you better plan to fail. If you fail to plan, you better plan to fail. So what it reminds me is that having a plan, setting out a sail for greatness for today is so critical. Otherwise, what I found, Amanda, is I fall into other people's plans. If I don't have a plan, I'm just going to be at the mercy of everybody else and what their plan is and what they want me to do. And I'm living my own life. Do my plans sometimes go sideways because shit happens? Absolutely. But I will tell you, in the midst of craziness going on that happens in my day, if I just go back and look at, okay, what did I have set out to do today? Oh, that's right. Let me get that done. Let me go and take some action on that. But if I didn't, I had a plan that I set this morning, life is going to happen. Things are going to go crazy. But just having that plan at the start of the day to look back on helps me ensure me that I'm going to get closer to achieve it. Is it going to be perfect? No, absolutely not. Life happens. Life informs vision, I think is what you said in the last podcast. Life informs your vision. Yep.
Yeah. Can you share a couple of your wins that you have listed for today? Now that we've heard your wins from yesterday?
Yeah. So here are my wins from yesterday, my wins for today. Okay, let me see here. Perfect.
Number 1, hang out with Amanda and Andrew.
Yes.
Done.
Yes. Okay, so one of my wins for today, pretty simple. I needed to finish up some final planning for the podcast. I needed to record the podcast. Number 3, I'm going to have lunch with the mentor group at 12:30. I'm going to play tennis at 2:30 p.m. today. I'm going to chat with my cousin Brian at 5 p.m. Those were the 5 things. Those were the 5 things that I said I wanted to do today.
Okay. If I may,
yeah,
just a couple of themes that I'm noticing through your wins and your yesterday and today wins, all very specific to be terrific. So I think just a good lesson for everyone out there. The more specific you can be about your wins and what you want to get done, the better. all very action oriented. How you're going to be able to take action on today.
Yes.
How you took action yesterday. And then if you don't mind sharing, the 5 F's I've also noticed kind of as a theme for those of you who are unfamiliar when we did our annual goal planning that we used to do. Kevin would always talk about the 5 F's. Do you mind? Go ahead.
No, I think what you're talking about is a great preview to part 3.
Oh, you're right. I'm jumping ahead.
No, I love it.
Stay tuned, y'all.
I mean, I'll share with you that just real quick. I create weekly goals around the 5 F's, and it's financial. Every week, I'm creating goals around financial, fitness, faith, family and friends, which is 1, and then future learning. Future learning, like what am I doing to sharpen the saw this week? So every week when I'm doing my weekly plan, and we're going to talk about this in episode 3, I'm building it out around the 5 F's.
Okay. I love it. All right. So good place for people to start when you're looking to identify your wins from yesterday. Maybe starting with that framework is a good place to start.
100%.
What were the wins I had in those areas?
Yes. And you'll notice a lot of my goals tend to be around relationships.
Yeah.
Again, it's work related as well. What am I doing with the podcast and some final planning? But again, I'm going out to lunch with the mentor team and going to share some stuff there. I'm having a chat with my cousin Brian. So it's just all things where I have these what I call MPC, meaningful and purposeful conversations. Yeah. I love MPC.
I think that ties, and just to speak to your journal as a whole, I think that speaks very well to what you have written in the front, your unique ability, and one of your affirmations, which is that your success is contingent on your ability to make people feel good about themselves. So it's just, we're just watching your whole journal tie together right now.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Kevin, when it comes to the planning, so the wins for today, so like you're here now and you're planning for the future. A lot of people listening, in Wrench Group and in service, home service businesses, they're running a household. They have a family. So when does your planning, your goals, your wins for today take precedent over? It's kind of an easy question to answer, but maybe it's not. But let's say you have that plan for, the men's group, but your son calls you and says, "Dad, can we go do this?" Or your wife is like, "Hey, actually, I kind of need you over here." And that can kind of throw a wrench into everything, because if somebody's life isn't as organized as you said, you're an unorganized person,
yes.
But these journals help you stay organized. Because I know for someone like myself, if I'm not telling my wife where I'm at every single second of the day, that usually means that I'm kind of not even aware myself. And so if something pops up, I might not be ready to pivot and, be the husband or the father that I need to be in that moment. Mm-hmm. And that I might get frustrated because I'm like, I have this plan and I got to stick to this journal because, this is going to help lead to success. So when do you know when to pivot from that plan, or when do you know when to deviate from said plan?
Yeah. What you're getting into, Andrew, which I love, is setting up your week for success. And making sure that you're carving out time for your family, making sure you're carving out time to work on those things that write the biggest check for Andrew. The financial piece is a big piece of your weekly plan. The making sure you're spending that quality time with your family is a part of that weekly plan. Making sure that you're getting in the gym and making it an appointment in your calendar is part of your weekly plan. And obviously, having a spiritual life, and that's where the faith piece comes in. And this is not like, hey, you got to make sure you got your religion down. No, it might just be breathing. It might just be, how are you taking care of your well-being? When I say spiritual, it's just making sure that your spiritual, or your faith, your spiritual being is being taken care of. So all that, Andrew, starts on a weekly basis. And by the way, when I'm done writing out my weekly plan, who do you think I send it to?
I'm hoping your spouse.
It's my spouse.
Yeah.
I send it to my spouse. She knows. I send it to my assistant. She knows. And so she can then kind of coordinate and work. Like if she knows that I've got a mentor meeting, if she knew, she's going to get the plan certainly before the week starts. So the Friday before, by the latest Sunday night, the plan she'll have it. She'll see that I'm going to a mentor meeting on Wednesday at 12:30. She's going to know. She's not going to be like, okay, I need you here at 12:30. She'll know that I've got this planned.
Yeah, I learned pretty quick that if I don't tag my wife in all my calendar events, like I'm really just shooting myself in the foot. So
Yes. Yes. And by the way, I keep a digital calendar. I also keep a calendar in my journal, which again, we're going to talk about in episode 3. So back on the daily, was there anything you wanted to add?
No, go for it.
Okay, back on the daily. I'm now done planning for the day. And I'm ready to go tackle the day. I'm ready to go into the office. I've got my plan for the highest 3 to 5 impact things I want to get done today. Now, depending on what day it is, it might be these might be really high impact things that are going to help move the company along. Those are things that I do on what I call focus days. And gosh, we'll talk a little bit about that on the next episode. But when it comes to my journaling on a daily basis, it's now time to bring my journal with me wherever I go, whatever meetings I'm going to go into, because I will write down and get my thoughts down, what I call capture. I want to capture in my journal what were the discussions that went on in the particular meeting? Who said they were going to make some follow-ups? If I'm walking out, and again, you mentioned, Andrew, I own a home services business. If I walk out in the yard where the guys are putting their equipment together in their truck, I'm bringing my journal, because I might see something. I might see a truck that needs some repairs, and I'm going to make a note because I need to go talk to that manager. More so, though, I love it when somebody who is working out in the field maybe has a challenge or a question for me. Like one that came up the other day is somebody came up to me and said, the payroll got a couple of things wrong on my paycheck, last pay period, and they missed a couple of overtime hours for me. And I was like, okay, Bill, overtime hours. Okay, now I just wrote that in my journal. Now I'm going to go follow up for Bill. I'm going to go into payroll, and I'm going to go take action on that, because what I know is that if Bill sees that I take action on the things that are important to Bill, that's what I've learned, how I can get Bill to run through a wall for me. If I make his items important, holy cow, Bill is going to do things for me as the owner or the president of the company, walking around and taking care of. And Bill was an assistant. He wasn't even a lead installation technician. He was an assistant. And when he sees that I take that stuff seriously, that means the world. I just earned so much goodwill from Bill. And who else do you think I learned goodwill from? Because who do you think Bill is telling? Bill's telling everybody, you're not going to believe this. I told this to Kevin. He went and took action for me and got it resolved. Now, I got to make damn sure it gets resolved. I can't just pass it off. I have to make sure that whether I follow up with Bill myself or I inspect what I expect, I want to make sure Bill got taken care of. And I can be a bit of a pain in the butt when it comes to that stuff. Right, Amanda?
Right.
And for those watching and listening, I've only been around Kevin for as many episodes as we have. And I've experienced that a couple times already, and I've experienced it today even. right? I literally told you those words that like, I'm ready to run through a wall for you. So Amanda, I can only imagine. I mean, people would think you're making stuff up. You've probably felt that so many times where it's like, dude, he's got my back. Like, that's special to me. And I would hope that I've been in somewhere written in that journal before, and I'm pretty sure that it's come to fruition, especially for like the wins of, for today. And again, it's just another testimonial as to like, okay, obviously Kevin is, he's achieving a lot of things at a completely different level. I don't want to say it's like, if it's working for him, it's going to work for you, but like, can I take a small percentage of what you're doing and implement it into my workflow? I absolutely can. Right. So it's just super encouraging, everything that we're talking about right now.
Love that.
Especially because I have felt what you just explained. That was not made up. That's not a lie. That actually happened. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out, because sometimes when you hear stuff, it's like, oh, that's too good to be true. It's like, no, I literally felt that today. Very powerful stuff.
That's awesome. I mean, I don't know if that was intended to just make me feel really good, but it did. So thank you. I know it just awesome. I appreciate that. Yes, because I saw my dad do that his whole life. My father was so big into making sure that he used to say it, the warehouse guy. If the warehouse guy had a request from you, Kevin, you go and fill it right away. If he's got some, and it was always, because the warehouse guy was kind of the lowest paid guy in the whole company. And he's like, that's where you really win. Go take care of the person that may not be the all-star salesperson. And now you're living a life to be proud of.
Yeah, I don't want to go on more tangents, but the most successful people that I've been around have treated everybody that way. Me being behind the camera, most cases, a lot of people will look right over me. The ones that weren't as successful were always trying to get more out of me or get more out of the situation. The very successful ones would always seek me out and be like, hey, how are you doing? They wouldn't say, hey, where's the guy that you're known to be around? The famous guy that you film. It was always like, hey, how are you doing?
Wow.
All the most successful people did that. The ones that were scratching and clawing for new followers and subscribers and all that stuff, those were the ones that didn't care. And it showed.
Interesting.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, so good.
Yeah. I think that always makes me think of Joe Cristiano's index cards.
Yeah.
I always think of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So I share the daily capture. Like, I want to capture things that are happening on a daily basis that are going on. And I don't need to necessarily even follow in the lines. Like, need to go check on, truck number 6, the tire looks flat. I might just write it diagonally in my journal. I don't really care. I might use up a whole page. Yeah, right. It's not
I've seen it. You have like one sentence on one page and you'll circle it like 6 times.
It's not
and I'll
very
be like,
pretty.
that truck was really important, Kevin.
It's just, how do I capture it? I've got to get it in my journal. Again, we talked about how I use it when I go to church. Special things people say. I'm listening for that I know are important to them. I'm going to capture that down. Kind of going back to Joe Cristiano's cards. I if it's important to them, make it important to you, Kevin.
Yeah. And to quickly tie back to in the first episode, one of the things Kevin said was make sure that the book is something that's comfortable in your hands. So what Kevin's describing is walking around to a lot of different and unusual venues with your book, right? And so that, I think that ties into why it's very important that you're comfortable with the size of the book, the texture of the book, the way that it feels in your hands. I think that's very important because if you're standing in, a warehouse yard, talking to guys by their truck, you're not sitting at a desk, you're not sitting at a table, you've got it in your hand. So just coming back to why the setup of all of this is so important.
Yeah.
So
I'll never forget. Last Halloween, Stephen Cook dressed up as me for Halloween.
Yeah. Number one prop, he had
he had 2 things.
Yeah.
He had a journal and he had a Pellegrino bottle. everywhere he went. He just walked around because that's just what people know is
He had your backpack too, actually. He was very...
and a backpack.
He had it on point.
Yeah. So props to Stephen Cook. He saw that, and what's amazing, Amanda, is the amount of journals that I see people carrying around at the office is incredible.
Yeah.
And I really think that it's making an impact for them. And I don't check up on it. I don't. It's totally up to them. This works for me. And if they, like Andrew said a minute ago, can take one or two things, apply it in their life, and it helps make their life a little bit easier, holy cow, I've done my job. How can I make somebody's life a little bit easier through these teachings? If I can, I'm done. I got it. Capture. I will capture people's names. I'll capture phone numbers. A lot of times, business cards from people that I come in contact with. I will literally tape them to my journal. Cards that I get from my kids, I will tape them. You'll see them taped in my journal. So the journal doesn't always look super pretty and super fancy. It'll be bumpy at times because I'll have a card taped in it, and I won't maybe have both parts of the card or the entire card. Maybe I'll just have the section where they wrote their note to me, but where it's all kept in one place so that this is my life. A life worth living is a life worth capturing. Yeah. So, to wrap this one up, everything is in one place. The daily habit of journaling starts in the morning. Making sure you give yourself time to think, because to think is to create. When I give myself time to think, and thinking for me is not just sitting there, thinking happens when I'm writing, when I'm looking back, when I'm reflecting on the good things. Now I'm able to think about what I want to accomplish today. So looking back in order to catapult forward with my actions for today. Now when today starts, I am going to capture the things that happen throughout the day. And what will happen is I'll actually be going through the day going, ooh, I'm excited because I get to write that down as a win tomorrow morning. So you're actually living your wins before they even happen. Do you follow me when I say that?
Yes. The same way that reliving yesterday's wins gives you the rush of endorphins, imagining today's wins can give you that rush. The same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's it. That's all we got on the power of daily journaling. Any other questions you got, Amanda?
No other questions. Let's set our sail for success.
Yeah. Andrew, anything else you got?
Just appreciate it. And I'm willing to bet that journaling in today's day and age, with a digital screen in front of you nonstop and you don't have a second to yourself to just think, I'm willing to bet that journaling will really help a lot of people sleep.
Ooh.
Because by the time they try to go to bed, what happens? That's when my brain wakes up and it doesn't shut up or whatever. It's like, well, you're not giving your brain a chance to speak to you. And I think it will through journaling.
Absolutely.
I love this.
Absolutely. All right, team. We're ready to wrap up. We're ready to wrap up this part number 2 of this episode on journaling. And as a guy that's always looking to make my future bigger than my past, here's to a bigger future, team. Take care.